In this video, we're going to be going over exactly what the Forge method is, exactly how to apply it into your life, the system that I run with all my clients. I'm going to show you the behind the scenes, what happens when you come into the program, and you're going to be able to implement this exact system to get you the result. This is for the man who wakes up and he looks at himself in the mirror with the shirt off and he knows he's not reaching his fullest potential. He knows he lost his edge throughout the year. He knows when he walks down the street, he feels a bit insecure, right? Whether it's skinny fat or a bit too much fat, right? It's you're overweight. I'm going to break down the solutions to your problems. All right, I'm going to challenge you and hold you to a higher standard to implement this kind of system into your life, because it is a system that I still use to this day to get me the result. Some excuses that I hear, right? I'm too busy. I don't have the time. I can't cook or clean or do any of this, Aiden. I'm working every day, blah, blah, blah. Yes, bro. And you're not going to get less busy throughout your years, right? Maybe you have kids, maybe you have a wife, maybe you have a business. The idea is to keep growing, right? That's the idea, to keep moving forward. And if you don't, that means you are slowly dying. You understand? If we're not growing, we are dying. And so I'm going to give y'all all the sauce here, right? I have my computer, I have my notebook. We're gonna dial in with this, with everything I got. I'm gonna give it to you for free. This is something that I want you to take in your life. You are giving me time of your life, the next 10 to 20 minutes of this video. Implement this kind of information and actually change yourself, change your physique, change your mindset, change your habits, because that's what it will do for you if you allow it. But if you just watch it for feel-good motivation, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not motivation. Right? I'm not here to motivate you. I'm here to give you structure. I'm here to give you actual structure that you can apply discipline with and implement into your life. Motivation fades, structure stays. Let's go ahead and hop into my computer and let's get right down into it.
Anyways, let's get right down into it. So what Forge is a coaching system that I designed about 9 months ago to be able to duplicate the results that I got in my life and pour it over into other people's lives. And what essentially this is it's a method that is a system that if you follow it with discipline, you will get a certain result. It'll help you develop the man who you know you can become. It'll apply structure and discipline into your life. So let's get down into it, right? You're going to develop a strong body, a disciplined mind, grounded spirit, and a structured life. What this is not is quick fixes, soft coaching, feel-good motivation, and hand-holding. This is standards, accountability systems, and results. So this is the very basis on what Forge is. Okay, this is what I built it for, and you can use this in your life right now. You don't need to wait. Your commitment by joining Forge, you're going to show up daily. You need to show up daily, right? You need to do the work that you said you're going to do. Complete your workouts, follow nutrition guidance, execute your routine, be coachable, and tell the truth in check-ins. No excuses, only ownership. So how do you apply this into your life, in your own life right now? Well, bro, your commitment is to your life, right? It is to bettering yourself. If you are here right now, you want to get better. Maybe you have a family, maybe you have a wife, kids, a business. You should want to get better for those guys. This is your commitment. And if you don't, if you're not growing, you're dying. Okay? So you apply the Forge method with commitments that you show up to yourself. Another word for commitments is standards. So how the program works when you join in is I give my guys Trainerize. I pay for Trainerize, which is it's basically a cheap tracking app. I say cheap, it's only like $25 a month, right? It is really nothing, but it tracks your habits and your workouts, and it allows me to see the progress easily. Keeps it organized. Weekly check-ins, we're gonna give you we're going to talk every week. We're going to make sure that you're staying on track. We're going to give you a doc. That's a check-in doc. Direct access to me. Well, you have access to me right now. You can Instagram, DM me if you want. But my guys definitely have that direct access, my phone number and everything. Forge framework is your structure, right? So this is exactly what you're going to follow. This is the structure that you came here for. Now, your responsibilities. Again, back to responsibilities. Log your workouts. Follow your plan. Communicate struggles. Apply feedback and stay consistent. All right, you have a bunch of responsibilities in life. As a man, life is not sweet. It is a life of responsibility that you have to put on your back and you have to carry it. And if you are unstructured, if you constantly are filling this gap between who you are and who you can be, it's because you're lacking some form of system, some form of process that you are not applying in your life right now. And all you have to do is make the choice every day to apply it, to match your habits with the man who you know you can become. That's a responsibility. That's a standard. The Forge framework, right? So this is what I created about 9 months ago, and I follow it. This is what's got me the results. Fitness is the foundation, so I'm always training my body. I'm always building strength. I'm respecting my health. All right, without fitness, you can have $1 million. You can't pay me $1 million to be 500 pounds overweight and not be able to play with my kids in the backyard. No, or not have my health. Order your morning. Structure beats motivation. If you lose the morning, you likely lose the rest of the day. Now, of course, there's exceptions to the rule. You can always bounce back, but I remember so many times where I woke up, I was lazy, I scrolled, I smoked, I did bullshit habits, and it never really felt good, right? I always ended the day chasing cheap dopamine. Right? If I begin the day chasing cheap dopamine, I likely end the day chasing cheap dopamine. You need to break the cycle, and that starts in the morning. Relentless daily action. No 0 days, progress compounds, all right? You need to take action every single day, whether it's an active recovery day, or maybe it's a lift day, maybe it's your food, maybe it's something in your life, a habit, I don't know. You need to take relentless action towards it. God over everything. God has been my foundation for about a year now, and it's only because I walked into a church last year for the first time ever, and I started implementing the word into my life, into the business, and with this, I was able to build a deeper foundation of what I wanted in my life. It's so easy to go without God. I went without God my entire life, right? And I'm not going to force you into a church. I'm not going to force you to read the Bible, but that's what I do in the mornings. I ground myself in my spirit, because what is the world to a man if he loses his spirit? Evolve and evaluate weekly, right? We'll review, we'll adjust, and we'll improve. Now, the weekly flow, how it's going to go, you're going to daily complete your workouts or active recovery, follow the nutrition guidelines, execute your routines, and track it all in Trainerize. And weekly, you're going to submit that check-in, review wins and losses, adjust plans, and lock in for next week. Now, how do you do this on your own? Well, it's very simple. I tracked my workouts on my own forever in a Google Doc. I ate clean forever. I was able to hold myself accountable with the routine all year. Like, I didn't really have coaches like this. I didn't have mentorships like this. Now, I did pay for mentorships. I did pay for programs from $1,000 to $10,000 just last year, trying to level myself up in my business, in my life, and everything. And I'll tell you, bro, if you don't need a coach, you don't need a mentor. We're here and we'll help you. I'll help you. That's what my business is. But bro, if you're not taking the action necessary to get you the result on your own, you're just throwing fuel on fire. Now, of course, I want to make a deeper video on making investments, but don't over leverage yourself. Don't you don't need to get in a bunch of debt. You don't need to do any of that in order to make progress. You are the only thing that's keeping you back. Communicate, right? You can message me anything. You can message me right now on Instagram. Like I said, any questions, guidance, help, struggles in your mindset, your routine, your nutrition, your training, just be clear and be honest, right? This is not therapy. This is coaching. The greatest men alive never went to therapy. At least I don't think so, especially in the Bible. They don't ever sit there talking about their emotions in a dark room with some shrink. Instead, they went out and conquered. They went out and did stuff. They went out and built. They created, and they consulted their board of members, right? Their people on their table, their team, their wife, their confidants, people like this. They have people they trusted that they confided into, but this is not therapy, all right? Standards. You need to hold a standard, right? Every great man has standards, and inside Forge, there is no victim mentality, ghosting, half-effort, excuses. You either execute or you expose what's stopping you. You must hold a high standard within your life, or you will forever stay right where you're at. I can't stress that enough. It's the standards that actually change you. Now your outcome. This is if you follow the system, right? It's not that just you'll get stronger and disciplined and structured and leveled up and blah, blah, blah. No, you're going to finally start feeling in control of your life. When you look in the mirror, you're going to say, wow, I feel in control and proud of the man who I'm becoming because I'm finally aligning myself with the guy who I know I can be. All right, this is structure, discipline, strength, all that's great. But it's the identity shift within that you're going to have on this journey. Now, the first steps, do these now. You're going to download the app, the fitness app, log in, review the program. We're going to schedule the workouts, and also you're going to message me locked in when that's done. Again, this is not just fucking workouts, right? This is much greater. It's about becoming the man who you know you can be. Fitness is just the foundation for that. And if you let yourself go in fitness, it's just one of the easiest places to point out. Now, final message, you're here because you want more. Discipline, confidence, control over your own life. This is the season to build. All right, that's the Forge method in essence. And this is just another doc that I created for my guys. A bit of YouTube videos that walk through this doc. There is something that I want to go into depth here is the mindset, the habits, the training, and nutrition, right? These are like the containers, and Forge is the lens of this whole program, right? But your mindset and your habits are key. There's so many times where I was fit, I was feeling good, but my mindset, my habits were trash, right? I can lift 225, no problem, but if I couldn't go an hour without smoking weed, or if I couldn't go a day without falling into bad habits, or I couldn't go a morning without waking up on time, or just bullshit, right? It was unstructured in my life outside of the gym and work, and I always felt this like off feeling. This is why mindset and habits are crazy. And when my first mentor kind of brought this up, this guy named John Mark, right? I completely shifted how I thought about things and how I did things. And so that I found this guy John Mark, and I invested in that $10,000 mentorship last year, which was somebody else, and then I found my way into a church, and all of it just combined into this. Now, your habits are huge as well, right? So your wake up time, the training, the protein first meals, prayer, reflection, minimal distractions, right? You want to have this all dialed. All right. And your rhythm is just going to be training consistently, checking in with yourself, with me, reviewing the wins and losses, and adjusting without emotion. Nutrition, I'll touch on this. What is real food? That is what I have my guys eat, mostly whole foods, 80-90% of the time, right? Your 3 meals should be real food, right? Regardless, it should be protein first meals that you have. Chicken, ground beef, eggs, rice, sweet potato, stuff like this, frozen veggies, like they're alternating for me, and I'll eat those every day. But I keep that 10%, right? That 10 to 20% of like flexible foods that I eat. Last night I ate some fucking cookies, right? That I made. I ate, just whatever. Like there's times where I have a sweet tooth and I want to eat something that's outside of just a clean, real whole food diet. Like, bro, this is supposed to be something you can live by and develop yourself over years upon years upon years. This isn't supposed to be like just 30-day, challenge. Fuck that. I want to continue to use this every single year to get better. Just eat like an adult, bro. Don't eat like a fucking child. Don't overcomplicate this. Adjust based on results. And we'll get more nitty and gritty if you join the program on what exactly you need to be eating. Training, right? The training walkthrough. I basically just walk you through this here. I mean, this is nothing, right? It's training is easy, honestly. You just track your lifts, you show up daily. That's easy. Push pull legs throughout the week is what I run. That's what I tell my guys to run, and cardio depending on your goals. But it really is that simple, right? You eat real foods, you train daily. The harder part is standards and the non-negotiables, right? Holding the standard that you are responsible for your results. You communicate when you're struggling, you do not disappear, and you stay consistent, right? Executing, you continue to execute. I promise you, it works if you work. It works if you work. Weekly check-in form, that's really easy to do. You could just journal yourself, and then this is a living system. It will evolve, but the standard does not change. So I'm still like, this is the Forge method. And then of course the check-in calls, you get a bunch of this, but I'm always upgrading this. I'm always looking to improve this on how can I make this better? How can I make my content better? How can I make my guys better? And with that being said, like, I want to absolutely give you the results that you came here for. And I want you, if you made it this far in the video, you've invested your time, your life. And so I want you to use this information and apply it into your life to get the result. The result is there for you if you do the work. I promise you, dog. I promise you. You just have to show up for it, and you have to do it. If you want hands-on coaching, if you want help implementing this system to become the man you know you can become, and actually start trusting yourself again, being proud of yourself, showing up in a different way, this is the exact system that I help my guys implement, and I'll help you implement it as well. So click the link down below if you are serious about developing yourself. I'm going to go ahead and leave off this note. I have more stuff to do, more stuff to create, and I'm here for you on IG at Aiden Hatchet. If you want to reach out to me and shoot me a DM, any questions, I'm more than happy to answer. Until then, gentlemen, stay dangerous. I'll see you later.